Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will check B group, challengers group of Tata Steel, Veikanze. Let's go. Yes, about the players, we do have Gwen, Taidaivan, Svana Frederick, Rubeg Yakuboev, Erwin Lamy, Benjamin Bog, Vaishali, Lou, Gurel, Suleiman Lee, Nogerbek, Divya, Pitchpers, Oro, Bulmaga. Yes, a lot of strong, high-rated players. Of course, some local players like Artur Pitchpers. Most likely, I'm pronouncing uh, wrongly, but I very much apologize. Uh, of course, we do have Erwin Lamy, Benjamin Bog. They are quite high-rated, and of course, we do have prodigies like Oro Faustino, Gureledis. Let's check the games. Yes, Nodirbek Yakuboev managed to win with the black pieces against Divya. Yes, Bishop e7, another move is d5, but most likely Nodirbek wanted to keep the pieces and hope for some chances to get complicated game. Yes, just I can tell you, dear viewer, that here a5, a4 and bishop b5 are the main moves. Here c4 doesn't work because knight takes e4, f takes c, queen h4. If g3, queen e4 comes, if king e2, bishop g4 comes, and if king d2, a4 and black is already much better. Bishop e7, c4, of course, the main point of f3 move by Divya was to go c4 at some point. a5, bishop e3, otherwise a4 comes and disrupts uh, white's coordination. So now whenever a4, knight comes to d2 and the other knight comes to c3. Bishop e2, short castle. Maybe knight c3 would have been slightly more precise. Knight h5. Queen d2, knight f4, and here, yes, knight c3, but black already doesn't have much problems. And here, Divya goes wrong. She makes positional uh, mistake. Bishop takes f4, e takes f, and queen f4 ideas aren't working because of a4 and then queen b6, queen b2, and black is already much better. And queen d6, a4 ideas are coming. Again, knight d6, a4 is coming. And the rest, Noderbek did amazingly well. Queen c5, if knight takes c6, f takes c, bishop pawn e2 doesn't have any squares to go, very restricted bad bishop. King g7, king f6, black is ready slowly to push g5, h5, white is trying g4. Yes, here Nodirbek decided to repeat, then h takes g, king g5. His position is very, very bad for Divya, but she even made it worse. Just knight c3, rook takes a3. A takes b, rook a8. Another weakness, another target on a file, and rook is coming b6, and c4 pawn is falling. King h4, knight g2, king h3 comes. Yes, here king g5 is possible, but bishop e3 and bishop d4 already. Black is checkmating white's king on g2. And here checkmate ideas are coming after king g3. Yes, Nguyen won with the white pieces against Arthur. Peach pairs. Once again, I apologize if I am pronouncing it wrongly. d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, g3, c5. Honestly speaking, I'm not much aware what's the best move here. I don't think you should really go d5. Let's see what computer is saying. c3, c4, short castle. Yes, of course, short castle, c takes d, knight d4, d5, c4. d takes c, queen a5. Knight fd2, queen c5, knight b3, knight d4. Yeah, seems like Nguyen is aware of this c3, knight d4 idea, because he was blitzing out this. And now e4. Now short castle. h3. No, simply Nguyen blitzes out, and Arthur is taking his time. White is already better. Knight a3. Queen e2. And computer doesn't like much this queen a6. Maybe just a6 or knight d4. C takes d, e6. Takes, rook fd1. White is better. Again, playable position. Yes, h5. So knight d8, c4, bishop c6. Yes, this is very unpleasant position. Yes, rook bc1 would have been the best. Knight d5. Yes, black could play knight c5. Takes. Knight a7. Knight is coming to c6, of course. Just taking the pawn. Why here a4 is not working? I guess knight c6. Takes. Bishop b7. And here Arthur resigned. Again, nice prep as always by Nguyen. Taking c3, knight d4, and then e4. Not much was really happening in Aydin Suleimanli Bog Benjamin game. Joko Piano. And here bishop a7. Of course, many setups, many moves are possible, including knight a3. Takes, knight bd2. a4, b6. Bishop b7. It is very much interesting. Yes. This is the first position that I didn't know. Yes, players repeat it, and here I think goes knight h2. Computer doesn't like it, and the reason is you can just take e takes d. No doubts. E takes d, d5 is coming. C takes d, bishop e4, knight e4, queen e4, knight g4. What about knight g4, d5? So knight f8, and white already got something. But some ideas like rook f6, queen f6, rook f1. So this, definitely knight f8 was played with the idea to go knight h7, bishop c8, takes, and somehow this knight on d2 doesn't go anywhere. This, and even I didn't sacrifice on f6, and here players agreed in a draw. Yeah, some opening prep, even white slightly tried, but black's position is very solid. Yes, I would say that white maybe got some slight pressure. Yes, and we do have Gurel Bulmaga. Usually Gurel plays shows much better quality, but somehow this game didn't go uh, well for him, and especially start of the game. Yes, knight bd7. Another move is c5, c5, and knight e4. I think something like this. Laurent Fressinet played against me. It was French team championship. Yes, h4. Yes, we see that Gurel is well prepared. f5 takes, knight g5. Let's see. Yeah, some other moves are also possible. Takes, knight g5, knight f6, g3, a5, stopping all these b4 ideas and maybe preparing b6. And now computer likes more bishop h3, but bishop h3, rook a6 is the move, and bishop e2. Yes, this is the first position Gurel didn't know. h6, knight h3. Yes, c6, knight d7, knight d7, very good move by Irina Bulmaga. Rook c1 and e5. She plays and reacts amazingly well. Bishop takes e5, d takes c5 is hanging, of course knight will take, and your knight on h3 doesn't do anything. Takes, and here knight is coming to f4, that's why bishop takes, and yes, c6 or queen d7, this pawn on e5 will fall. It's this, queen c6, protecting the pawn on c5, rook d8. Yeah, something like king h8 definitely black needs. And this is the first position. She goes something very concrete, d4, check, e takes d, rook d5. Yes, again, black is fine. Rook d1. For example, here bishop c5 was possible. D takes c, rook d1, bishop d1, queen d7. No doubts, I very much hope that Irina saw this, but she had something else in mind. Black is so active, queen e6, bishop takes c5, of course d takes c, rook d1 is coming, b5, bishop takes d4, and here she didn't play this very logical, and why not c5? Maybe she was afraid of f4, but f4 queen, yes, f4 c4. Why not bishop e5? Why? Yes, bishop e5 looks so simple. Rook d5, queen d5. Because queen f7 and already f4. Queen e7, g5. Queen e6 is rook d3, and again something like bishop a7, c5. Black doesn't have any problems, and queen f5, huge blunder. And Gurel, of course, sees this rook d4, rook d4, rook d4, rook d4, queen f5, queen c2, rook d8, king h7, bishop d3. Not something impressive by Gurel with this uh, level will be very hard to win this tournament. And we do have another game, Erwin Lamy against Frederick Swane, and no doubts both players are fighting for the first place to qualify to the Masters group. And I played in 2024 both the players, and I can say that this is the position and this one. I had against Robert Ovanesyan, Armenian National Championship 2024, and I went Queen G4. I apologize, Queen G2. If I'm not mistaken, takes Robert played this Queen E4. Robert took on G7. I played Rook D8. Bishop D3, Queen E3. Bishop D3 doesn't work because of Rook D3. Queen D3, Queen F4. She takes the Queen A4. Black is much better. Robert played this. I took on D1. Robert took with the bishop. I took Queen E3. Bishop E3. I played H5 with the ideas to play Bishop G4. And more or less, I can say that I equalized, but later on, anyway, Robert outplayed me. Recently, someone else also played this line. I don't exactly remember at the moment. Yes, takes h5. We see that Erwin is blitzing out his moves, and Frederick did not really expect this line. Some slight pressure, but not much. As Bishop G4 is there, G5, G4. Maybe Rook B6 would have been better. H4. Yes, G3, H3 is another move. G takes, 96, King E6, Rook H3, Rook G2. Yes, H3, Bishop H3 ideas might be there. Or maybe... No, I don't think H3 makes... Bishop H3 is working. And white is of course better, slightly better. Computer says it's not more than 0.2. And very precise play by Frederick. Yeah, simply didn't give any chances to Erwin. Faustino Oro, Messi of chess, was crushed by Vaishali. Yes, this d4 stopping e5, short castle c4, c6. Rook e1 was played by Gukesh against Ting Liren in World Championship match. So knight c3, d takes c, e4, b5, queen e2. Yes, some moves are possible. Knight a6, a5, b4, a5, rook d1, knight d7. And we see that Faustino blitzes out his moves, and Vaishali is taking some time. d5, c takes d, e5, b4, e takes f, knight takes f6, knight b5. We are having very complicated position. Black is having 3 pawns for the piece. As Faustino didn't spend any seconds. Yes, 94 maybe would have been slightly more precise. But even here, position remains quite complicated. As for example, bishop f3, or bishop e3 or f4 Let's say bishop e3 or f4 we can understand, but what's the point behind bishop f3? Really hard to understand. Bishop h3, rook e8, queen f3. Yes, just wrong idea, and black is already maybe slightly better, and this is already much better for black, and this is winning for black, completely winning position. Queen c7, e5 is hanging, takes, and your bishop simply doesn't do anything on h3, and e5, and d4. Yes, here computer likes bishop c6 or queen d6, rook c2, but let's not forget that Vaishali had only 35 seconds. Already, yes, already starting from this move, she had less than 2 minutes. And Faustino has 28 minutes. Yes, e4, bishop f4, for example, bishop b5, another bad move. Rook e5 would have been good. King h7, and now bishop f4. But for some reason, Faustino doesn't play it. And d3, f takes c, rook d8, queen e4, d3. Yes, once again, Vaishali doesn't have any time, already about 10 moves, and Faustino does have it. But knight a1, f5, and here queen g2, queen f3 was played, bishop c3, again queen c4 was much stronger. And here, for example, knight b4, bishop c1, knight d3, and rook d3, rook b7 ideas are there. But knight d4, bishop c1, and this is completely winning for Vaishali. Yes, already after time increment, of course, she didn't give any single hope to Faustino. Yes, interesting line, interesting opening prep by Faustino Oro. And I'm sure that Vaishali knew it, but maybe did not really expect for today's uh, game against Faustino. That's why she was taking some time to figure out. And of course, later on, she was in huge trouble, uh, having less than 1 minute in more than 15 for more than 15 moves. And Faustino had a lot of time, but did not manage to uh, exploit anything or to save the game. Yes. Yes, I was also very much surprised by this game. World Junior Chess Champion Nogerbek Kazibek is playing with the black pieces against Lu, 24-29 rated international master from China. And simply I can say Nogerbek was crushed. So this line and d4, it takes d, e5, and here d5 and knight d4 are the moves. Maybe even knight g4 works, but mainly knight d4 and d5 are the best. Queen e2, knight c5, short castle, and here I can recommend a few games of Shant Sargsyan. He played against Kartik, against Husseinov, and easily equalized. Maybe Shant went 96 and then c3 d5. Yes, I think it was 96 c3 d5. But we can see that Nogerbek almost blitzes out bishop e7, rook d1, and some problems are there already. For example, d5 or d6, e takes d, c takes d, knight takes d4, takes. White is having some slight pressure. So knight e6, c3. d5, e takes d, queen d6, knight a3, a6, knight c2. Of course, white was threatening knight b5, that's why a6 and knight c2. And now maybe b5, bishop b3, bishop b7. But anyway, white is much better. And c takes d. Yes. No doubts, no questions. Uh, white achieved much better position. Takes d5 and knight a5. Of course, c4 bishop is hanging, bishop d3, bishop f6, and here b4. Takes. Yes, this takes. But now we are having a very unpleasant position for Nogerbek. Yes, queen e7 or g3 would have been stronger. Queen e5. Yes, stopping rook c8 ideas. Yes, black tries to close this bishop on h3, but g4. Bishop g2, bishop takes d5, rook b1. Yes, we see that Nogerbek does have about 5 minutes and Blue has less than 1 minute. And bishop b3 would have been better. Takes. And maybe this is the only chance and hope Nogerbek got since he uh, allowed this b4 b takes a, but yes, with only 3 minutes on clock, he did not manage to play it. Or yes, some rook c5. Of course, you aren't threatening much. Maybe just g5 you are threatening, or rook c2. Rook c2 we can understand, but of course, going after a2 pawn doesn't make much sense because white has ideas to simply take on a6. Also, maybe with the knights and with the rook, create some mating net. So for me, rook c2, very hard to figure out. Rook c5 you can, with the ideas to go g5. But Nogerbek f5, rook f8. But here even rook f1 is enough. So rook b8 takes, and simply you cannot stop my f5 pawn. Knight is coming to bd7 and then f6, f7. And here just f8 takes and knight g4. Yes, honestly speaking, I didn't know. I was not much familiar with the games of Lu, but of course this one impresses a lot. Uh, yes, from opening, white got some pressure, something, because black mixed up the move order or just did not memorize or didn't know the best moves. And after that, White simply always been under control, having between much better close to winning and just better positions. And in the end, of course, when eventually Nogerbeck got his chances, he made huge blunder by pushing g5. Thank you very much, dear friends. Uh, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave your comments. What do you think about the uh, first round results, and who, which players are your favorites? Uh, what do you think who will be really competing and fighting for the first place, and who eventually will win the tournament? Because only one spot qualifies to the Masters group. That's how Mendonca now plays the Masters group. Last year, he managed to win the Challengers. Yes, at least I see, of course, Nodirbek Yakuboev, Nguyen, Bok Benjamin, Aydin Suleymanli, Gurel, Svane Frederick, Erwin Lamy, uh, and maybe, uh, for example, I think the players I mentioned, they are really fighting for the first place. Somehow I don't imagine Oro, Faustino, even Vaishali, Bulmaga, even Nogerbek. I hardly imagine really fighting for the first place. Also, I don't imagine Lou fighting for the first place, or Arthur Peach Bears or Divya Deshmukh, with the huge respect to them. They are very good, strong players, but um, I think they are not really fighting for the first place. But we will see how it goes. Thank you very much.